Hello students, I Hemant Prajapati here. Today I am going to teach you the Portrait of Lady, chapter number first. The Portrait of Lady written by Khuswant Singh, a very glorious chapter. In this chapter we will learn and we will also see a characters, grandmother and Khuswant Singh. So here in this chapter we will see the relationship between the grandmother and grandson, how they live and how here the Khuswant Singh used to live with his grandmother. So here you can also see the picture of the Khuswant Singh. The Khuswant Singh, if we see the occupations, he was a lawyer, journalist, okay, and also writer, especially the Indian writer. And if we talk about the characters, so you can also see here the characters of the grandmother and the Khuswant Singh. So if we talk about the grandmother, okay, so here the Khuswant Singh grandmother is a very describes here as an extremely religious woman, like our grandmother, like your grandmother, a religious person. She was a very kind lady. She was a short, fat and slightly bent. Her face was wrinkled. You know very well that wrinkles on a face when age grow up. So her face was wrinkled and she was always dressed in a spotless white clothes, because always what happened, a grandmother's age is there, so every grandmother's wears white dress. So in the village what happened, she took a take care of his grandson. Of his the author here, whose name is Khuswant Singh, and the second character here, Khuswant Singh. Here our author, this chapter's author, real hero. So he recounts his childhood days and his relationship with his grandmother. So that relationship was a very glorious relationship, very attachment, both them. If we talk about summary of this chapters, so here you can see the picture of. So this one is a picture of Khuswant Singh. Now you can see here. So here the introduction. Now you can see the portrait of lady. Okay. So portrait of lady, actually it is a gives, this portrait of lady gives a pictures of a human relationship. You can see here the human relation with your grandmother, with your father, mother. So here the Khuswant Singh relations with his grandmother. So he actually in a joint family, it is a factual description here. The story is a factual here. It is a realistic account of how the grandmothers gives all their time and attentions and love to the grandchildren. The descriptions of the authors here, grandmother is a deeply moving with a touch of human and the poetry in it. She also was, so all that she could not be the older. It was difficult to believe that she once used to play games as a child and all we was even the young and married. She seems to have spotted grow older in the village, and she was left alone with her little grandson. She was a religious minded. Here the grandmother was a religious minded and she was all the time telling the beads of the rosary, and she took the child to the temple school. So inside she read holy books. While returning home, she fed the village dogs. Here also we can concentrate it, because relationship between the animal also here. The grandmother loves to animal. So in this city what happened? She begins to feed the sparrows because she got a separate room to live and there were no dogs. In the last phase she receives the author warmly, and he returns home from the abroad. She sang his homecoming and beats the drum, and she was taken ill at the end of the story, and she died. Even the sparrow went into the mournings and crowded there around the dead body. Such was that lady with a noble soul. This is a very kind heart.